Many of you are probably asking how I learned how to do this, how to become a warrior, supreme warrior. Two people. That's my grandfather, Raul Almira, my grandmother, Caroline Del Almira. She's Mexican Indian from Nayarit, Mexico, probably of the Huichole tribe who live up in the Sierras. My grandfather here, his grandfather was an American. He was American son for many generations, Mexican Indian, red as the clay of the earth. He had a hard life during the 1930s and 1940s, but he kept it clean and he joined the army for World War II. In fact, for this album I did the album cover of, it has me, my brother John, and Richard Parrish from Colorado, storming the beach at Normandy with my grandfather's name. It's not my name, it's my grandfather's name on it. Epitaph and Dropkick left it on the album cover when they could have removed it. Much respect to Dropkick. Much respect to Epitaph for leaving my name on there. In the liner notes is my grandfather's platoon with my grandfather right here, right where it says Fighting 69. Here's a photo of him. He was a tank commander and a sergeant in the 40s when men of color were not regarded as much more than farmers. All these were white men. That's his platoon. These are all white guys. Those are his fellow sergeants. Probably one of them was a lieutenant, and one of them was a captain. That's him, Sergeant Stripes, my grandfather, Raul Almira. He raised us boys mean. He was yelling a lot. He was angry. We didn't know why. My father told us later, he told me later, that when he got out of the army, well, let me tell you a story about when he was in the army. He served in Japan, part of the cleanup crew as a tank commander, patrolling Japan after the bombs had been dropped. I'm not sure he saw a lot of combat, but he was a tank commander, and he drove a tank, and he commanded a tank, and he taught other people how to drive tanks as a sergeant in the Army, U.S. Army. He came back, stationed at Fort Riley, Kansas, and went into a bar with his buddies to get some beers. And the bar owner said, "Hey, we don't serve Mexicans in here." So he left, went and told his commanding officer. His commanding officer sent a squad down there, and they trashed the place, destroyed the bar, and they revoked his liquor license serving military personnel. So that cocksucker was ran out of town. That's how much they respected my grandfather. That's what kind of man my grandfather was. That's the kind of man I am. Now, when he came back to San Diego, my father said he was trying to establish himself back in San Diego, where he was from. And who was it? The white boys, the Nazis, the good old boy network, who I've been banging heads with this whole fucking time. Probably the church on down to the fucking East County Skins. Someone beat up my grandpa and scared him and told him to leave San Diego. So they sent him out to El Centro, which is the hottest fucking desert in the whole goddamn planet. And he had to live out there and raise my father, my family, in a shanty out in the middle of the goddamn desert. And raised crops out of the fucking soil that was as red as he was. He wasn't happy about it, but he did it. And he kept his mouth shut, and he did his fucking job. He raised my family, my father, my Uncle Rick, who served in the Navy in Vietnam, my Uncle Raul, who we call Uncle Goose, and my Aunt Elena. And he was married to my grandma, because he liked white Irish girls too, Caroline Dell. That's my grandma. She's my owl grandma. Look at her. She looks like an owl. I have her nose. My grandpa taught me how to fight. He taught me how to live. He taught me how to work. He taught me how to keep my mouth fucking shut. He taught me how to shoot guns. He taught me how to knife fight. He taught me how to go for the throat. That's how he taught me. That's how I became to know what I know. I learned all the art from him as well, for he was an artist as well, but he had to keep under the wraps because farm boys couldn't be artists back in the 50s. Well, I became an artist anyways. And I've used art to decorate my combat fatigues and to explain a lot of things to you guys. So, this speech was to be made at my master's program graduation at Point Loma Nazarene University. That may or may not happen because I don't want to set foot on that toilet fucking trash campus ever again. If I make it in person or by Zoom, I'll make it by Zoom. I'll tell the exact same story. But this is Tata's revenge because he was my Tata, my grandpa. He was red as the earth. They spoke Spanish at the table. That's how I learned how to speak Spanish because they'd speak it in code, so us kids didn't know what they were talking. They had a picture of Jesus Christ, John Wayne, and Indians on the wall of their little brick house that he built himself out in El Centro. That's how we were raised. Jesus, John Wayne, Native Americans. That's how we are. That's who we are. And there's a lot of people out there who are just like us with different mixes. That's how I knew what to do, who to grab onto, who to give power to, and also who to neglect. Nazis, done. Soft, rich, fat, fucking soft faggot frat boy Lucifers, done. Jared Kushner, done. Donald Trump, done. Alt-right Nazis, you're on our team now. Because we fly the flag. We're Southern fucking California united. We are Southern California Free Militia. That's who we are. We're people of the desert, of the sand, of the motorways, of the motorcycle, of the street fighting, punk rock, ain't gonna ever give the shit up motherfucking tribe. We are one unit working together. We're the first city in the world to take our city back. I read in the paper, we are the first city in the world to kick this war off, take our city back, and teach other people how to do it. I did it in the name of my grandfather, for he was a knight, he was a hawk, he was a sergeant, he's my grandpa. He's an Almera. If you're lucky, you could be an Almera too someday.